local filmmaker Aundra Davis, graduated from the University of Utah. And alumni. That's what's up. Presidential election documentary, just gathering the thoughts of Americans. We're here with Trace right now. We'll go ahead and get his thoughts and feedback. How you doing?
Doing well.
Let's get it started. How do you feel about our current president and the job he's done so far?
I think that he's done the best he can, and he has the right mindset. He's who he needs to be. But the only reason maybe nothing's happened is because of the GOP on the other side blocking everything. So things would have changed a lot faster if it hadn't been put down.
I think he's doing a good job. I don't watch the news enough, or really read the newspaper enough to really know. But I feel like things are going pretty well.
I mean, he hasn't done everything he's promised to, but he's done a lot in like foreign policy and our foreign approval rates, and even like the amount of jobs he's created in the whole automobile situation. Like, he hasn't done everything, but he helped a lot.
Yeah, he inherited quite the load from George, so I think that he's done pretty well with what he's gotten. So I think for sure another 4 years with him, I would have to say.
He needs it to finish the job.
I think he had a hard job when he started, and people forget that. So I think while there are certain things he could have done better, I think on the whole he's dealt a pretty tough hand and done a pretty good job.
Overall, I think he's done a pretty good job. No president's perfect. He inherited a very difficult situation, and some situations have gotten better, some haven't yet. I listened to most of his speech last night, Democratic National Convention. He's a great speech giver, so obviously gets people going. I don't think the problems that any president's face can easily be solved nicely in 4 years. I think he's made some progress on some things. I think there's still work to be done on others. I'm not convinced either candidate has the perfect solution to fix all of our challenges. I'm optimistic about Obama and what he's hoping to do. I don't agree with him on every policy, but in general, I support him more so than the Republican candidates.
President Obama?
Yes, sir.
I think he's great. Really. I've been a steel worker my whole life, and I do. I think he's awesome. I'm going to vote for him. Don't know what else to say.
I feel I can relate to them. I'm middle class. I can relate to the president and his vice president more than I can relate to the other party. They look like they're talking to me instead of above me. That's what I felt like. So
I'm not real happy with what he's done because he has to deal with other politicians. So if he really wanted to do his own agenda, he's got several hundred other people who have to agree with him, and that makes it almost impossible.
I mean, he did his thing. This is the first year I've been into elections, this term right here, and from what I see, he made a difference. It might not be an overnight difference, but it's in the long run.
Well, I think Obama inherited an incredibly difficult situation, and all things considered, he's handled it well.
He already had a lot to build up from, and people are just blaming him for stuff that he didn't even start, which I think is big.
Yeah, I like Mr. Obama. I think he's doing a good job. Actually, I think he's getting a bad rap for, I mean, they gave him a really bad situation to work out. He's done as good a job as anybody could do.
How do you feel about candidates using the media to sort of slander other candidates? How do you feel about that?
Well, I think they should be more honest, because you see a lot of that. Probably more from Republicans, because I'm a little biased. Been a Democrat and still working my whole life. But I wish they'd clean it up and actually talk to the issues and be respectful.
I think politics has become way too dirty, and I don't know if you saw Obama's speech last night, and he talked about that, how he was tired of saying, I approve this message. And I think the whole super PAC thing, it's corrupted politics, where it's become less of a political issue and more of a party issue. And people aren't considering the facts, they're just looking at Democrat or Republican.
I think there's a lot of unfairness there, because the media doesn't really jump on lies. I mean, there's a lot of false advertising going on in the media. doesn't always jump on it.
How could we fix that situation in your opinion?
You know, I think things need to be, if a candidate, you know, misleads people, let's say, and let's not say lie.
Okay.
Then it needs to be straightened out.
I'm really not a fan of it. I'd rather know what a candidate stands for rather than how much they can bash another candidate. How to do that? I don't know. Today, media has just grown so much, even over the last 4 years. You know, I don't follow people on Twitter. I just don't think, I think it's kind of a waste of time, so I don't care what they tweet. It's a challenge, and I think it's up to each candidate to assert themselves and how they want to run their campaign.
I mean, if you just look at the commercial and you don't catch the message, you're going to jump on that bandwagon. But if you look at the commercial, understand it, and break it down, the truth going to win, hands down. So this year, that day, I'm going to be happy. Again, last time I cried. This time I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, it's like this year the election's been so just messy. It's like almost embarrassing. It's all just this slander, and it's kind of like, it makes it kind of a joke. So I think there'd be more people voting, and there'd be more people that are into the elections if it was more of like a gentleman's election rather than just people kind of like talking smack on each other.
I don't like when they use media to an extreme, because I think then one candidate that may have more financial backing than the other kind of gets their voice out more than the other. And the bashing, I just think, is really inappropriate.
How could we how could we solve that?
I think it solves itself, because it shines a negative light onto that person anyways. So
Hello.
I mean, if someone realizes that that's what's going on, I mean, it obviously turns you off to that person, or it should.
It just seems to me like the candidates that do use that method, they don't think Americans actually see it. Well, if they did, I would think they wouldn't do it.
Right. Right. I don't know, because I see it, so I don't know what. So I don't know what someone who maybe buys into it is thinking. I can't get into that mindset.
My own personal view is I am so over political ads, one way or the other. I just don't. You know, I do my reading. I get my information from the newspapers, or I'll go to my computer, or I'll board my news aggregator. I like to read print. I hate TV ads. I don't want to see any of them. You know,
I feel like there's no point in that, because if we're having elections, you know, 40, 50, 60 years ago, that wasn't even a discussion. It was pure on debates, and this is what I'll do, this is what you'll do, and it was very, oh, you're wrong and I'm right and I'm going to show you why, not what I'm going to help to do the country.
How can we stop? How can we resolve that issue of using the media as a weapon to?
That's a very good question, and I would tell you the answer if I knew. I don't think many know, to be honest.
Personally, I think it's wrong. A lot of it is outside what the candidates are doing. These are people who are in the Democratic machine or the Republican machine pushing things through. Both candidates ought to have guts enough to go out and say, hey guys, it's wrong. What you're putting out is helping me, but it's wrong. They both ought to be doing that. It's creating more polarization in America here.
Almost like a division.
That's right. That's right.
As Americans, we can see that.
Oh yeah. My opinion, yeah. I think it's something that needs to be fixed. To be honest with you.
He's a great public speaker, without a doubt. He's phenomenal. Maybe even too good. That's maybe why he got a good portion of votes. But there's a fine line between public speaking and a fine line between really doing the job. Because anyone can go in there and say, I can do this, I can do that, and articulate it well, but not a lot can say it and actually do it.
Right, Charlie, I feel that.
Yep. I'm not a Republican, nor am I a Democrat, but I believe in what I believe in. That minorities that's on the Republican side spoke badly about everything that this president did for this economy. The very next day, her town was on a landslide because God don't like us.
Wow. Hey, look here, we're getting a lot of good feedback from Americans right here. I want to thank you guys for letting me interview you, and that's what's up.
personally needs to stand up for himself a little bit more. And sort of, when people tell lies about him, he needs to say, hey, that's baloney.
Mr. Endicott, everybody. Very well said, Miss Karen. I want to thank you.
You're welcome, Andre. Hope it's helpful.
We're all in the same game. We're all Americans. And it just seems like sometimes it gets divided over voting for our president. I just want to thank you for letting us get your feedback here. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
Vote Democrats.
Go vote. Hey, look here. I just really appreciate your
yeah, thank you so
feedback.
much.
It's very valuable.
Thank you.
And continue your school adventures and higher learning.
Yeah, you as well.
Well, thank you, Peter, for your feedback. Look here. It looks like these ads that are being used, a lot of us Americans aren't even listening to them. So maybe the candidates could maybe save their money if they're not going to put anything out there positive, I guess.
I don't think they're going to save their money.
Well, Roger, I want to thank you for your feedback, okay? And,
Okay, yeah. Good luck.
we're doing good out here, y'all. President-elect.
Maybe, the media, they love that PR, they love it, so, I mean, maybe we can do something in the commercial, but I really don't know.
Well, we're here with Charlie, and I guess it is what it is. I'm Andre Davis, and we'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you.
Promises you can't keep. Hungry wolf, dressed like sheep. Shake her hand, stab our backs. Don't know why they do us like that. Now what?